This is Eyewitness News, the news leader, with Phil Lipoff and Michelle Charlesworth, Jessica Taff with sports, and Jeff Smith with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News, Saturday morning.
Also ahead, techniques to melt away the fat. We're joined by a local fitness expert with some tips for melting your fat away and meeting your weight loss goals. Did I just read that twice?
Listen, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We're all going to have a six-pack after that, though. I'm very excited. Straight ahead on Eyewitness News on a Saturday morning, getting in shape since it's officially summer. We're joined by a local fitness expert with tips for energizing your body, giving it a little shock to reach your weight loss goal, actually.
Penny gives us a shock every time she comes here. She wants more energy than...
Exercise is shock to my body.
She's got more energy than Michelle on
good.
high caffeine.
Hey, don't talk crazy.
And that's tough. Welcome back, everyone. Losing that last 10 pounds to reach your fitness goal sometimes proves to be the hardest of all. It's the hardest part of the whole process. Joining us this morning with some Plateau busters is fitness expert and author of Fitness Rants of the Chronologically Enriched. I just love saying the name of that book. It's Penny Hoff. Penny, thanks so much.
Thank you. That really means old. You know that, don't you?
What does?
Chronologically
Enriched means old. That's code for old.
Right.
Well, we'll just call it chronologically enriched. It sounds so much nicer.
I know. Well, in my book, one of my favorite rants and something I hear all the time in the gym is people that lose a lot of weight and work really hard. They lose 20, 30 pounds. They get 5 to 10 pounds within their range where they really feel good and they get stuck.
Why is that? Why is the because you hear women who are trying to get back to their pre-baby weight. You hear people who are trying to lose a lot of weight. Everybody says those last 5 to 10 pounds are so hard. Why?
Well, sometimes it's just that you're in your comfort zone, and so you say, okay, I'll have that piece of cheesecake. But oftentimes your metabolism gets close to its set point, and it just becomes more resistant.
It hits a plateau.
Right. So what I've done is I've designed several things that I call plateau busters, and what they do is they shock your system into burning more calories, and they jumpstart your metabolism. So, for example, if you were going to jog for 30 minutes at one particular pace, or if you were doing, I brought a step just because my treadmill wouldn't fit in my trunk, but rather than do this for 30 minutes, what you would do is you would add in intervals where you'd push really hard, so hard that you couldn't go any farther. As soon as you hit that threshold, then you would slow it down, recover, and then as soon as you could, you're sprinting again, and you're pushing really hard.
And how long do you do something like that for? The intervals
you wouldn't have to do it as long. The key is that it has peaks and valleys. Another thing that you can do to jumpstart your metabolism is 60-minute plus workouts. Now, you couldn't do this kind of interval.
60 minutes of cardio?
Successful dieters oftentimes do 60 to 90 minutes of long, slow distance. I call it LSD.
LSD.
But
the good kind we're talking about here, long, slow distance.
The idea is that after the first half hour, you burn all the calories and energy in your stomachs. There's a little bit of store in your muscles, in your organs. After that's all gone, and only after it's gone, do you start to dip into your fat.
An example of long, slow distance would be what?
Walking your dog.
For 60 minutes, whatever it is.
Swimming, it doesn't have to be high intensity. That also works. Now, not everybody is such a fitness enthusiast to do that. There are also some yoga poses that you can use. They compress the thyroid, which is sort of the hard drive of the metabolism. So let me just show you. Come down. This is called a shoulder stand. I don't know whether you can see, but whenever I do a shoulder stand, it compresses into the throat.
And what's the purpose of compressing the thyroid?
The idea is that it's like the hard drive. On your computer, if you clean out your hard drive, it works faster. So the thyroid is sort of the hard drive of your metabolism.
Would you do sets? How many of those would you do?
This is sort of the scenic route into shocking your metabolism. It might take longer, but it's a therapeutic way to really reinvigorate. Think of it like a garden hose. If you pinch off a garden hose when it's flowing water and then you release it, it's a tourniquet effect. There's a fresh flood of energy.
So you would do it once and then move on.
Right, and if you know about what has been happening with Oprah, she's had a lot of thyroid problems, and these kind of things really reinvigorate the area that is the very, very epicenter of where all those metabolic responses start.
We got 10, 15 seconds left. Something I always hear from everybody, don't eat after 8. How important is that?
Right. Well, I call this the early bird special, and I know it seems geriatric to go to the 5 p.m. buffet.
whatever works.
If nobody overeats green beans at 8 o'clock at night. So what I say is stop eating, because the food you tend to eat at that time tends to be higher carbohydrate, get stored as fat. if you can eat the same amount of calories but eat them earlier in the day, you're going to lose weight.
All right, Penny Hoff, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Great tips as always. We've put these tips and the demonstration you just saw on our website at 7online.com. Click on the See It on TV link in the upper right-hand side of the page, and we will get you to weekend morning interviews and tips. Sports with Jessica Taff is coming up next. Stay with us.